Okay.
2 o'clock. Here we are. Hello, everybody. This is Christina from HLC Bookkeeping and Office Solutions here doing our HLC Saturday Solutions here at, what's going to be our new house. So we are on location. We're painting today. I have doors to paint, so that's going to be exciting. I have absolutely no creative talent, but it's going to be a rustic look, so that's okay. So this goes into what's going to be our first topic, but first I'm going to let Krista go ahead and give you a synopsis of what we talked about last week. So here you go. Make sure they can see you. Hi. All right. So last week we talked about the SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And we talked about strengths and how you determine them. And then we also talked about changing in direction, pivoting, when circumstances make you do that.
Yep.
And then we also talked about strategic partners, how it's really good to have companion services, because a lot of times you become a resource for your clients. So yes, we do bookkeeping, but of course we deal a lot with accountants and lawyers and financial planners. So we get to know those people so that we can refer our clients to them. So our first topic is we're continuing our discussion about the SWOT analysis. And now we're going to talk about weakness, which is things people don't necessarily want to talk about, but you have to be honest. Don't get paint on my phone, please. Okay. And weaknesses might be your staff trying to do things they don't know how to do. I will never be upset at my staff for taking initiative. And it's just an opportunity for training if things don't go as expected. All right, so remember, from a weakness perspective, it's internal. What is internal to your organization that can cause a weakness? And this is when you should be breaking down. I'm going to sit down a second here. Okay. Can you see? Make sure they can still see you. Okay. Good? Yes, they can see me. All right. So, one of the things you want to look at from an internal perspective is your financial statements. Are they communicating what you need them to communicate to make decisions in a snapshot? And if not, this is that opportunity to make them stronger. We're going to change them from weak to strong. So again, Christina and I have talked a lot about, are you breaking down your revenue so that it's meaningful instead of having one big sales account? If you have multiple streams of businesses, break it down on your financials. Gotta know where you're making your money, that's people. Right. And if your marketing is $25,000 a year, I really want to know what makes up that $25,000. So maybe you should break it down by paper ads, digital ads, that type of thing. So you see where you're spending your money. Remember, it's a snapshot. You want to see in an instant. At a glance. At a glance. So this is also when you want to, again, it's internal to your organization. What are your processes? What are your procedures? Are they efficient? How can we tweak them? Where is there a bottleneck and how can we stop it? You also want to look at, again, your presence on the web, your social media. Is there more things you should be doing to engage potential clients? Yep, and let's reiterate, this is not a gotcha type endeavor. That's this right. is, we're just analyzing what we have right now, and if we can improve it, great. If we recognize it as a weakness, that means we know we can improve it. Right. And then you also want to look at your equipment. Are your copiers dated? Do you need to be able to make more color copiers? And right now you have a very slow color copier. Mm-hmm. Or does it make more sense to get it printed off site And it's a one-time thing where a copier can be an ongoing cost factor. So again, these are things that you're looking at internal to your organization.
Yep.
And again, you want to be looking at how are you presenting to your clients? Do you have chairs that are comfortable when they come to visit you? Are you communicating with them on a weekly basis? Should you have a newsletter? Should you have email blasts? All of that is on the table.
Yep. Literally on the table.
Well, we're painting doors, but yeah. It's sort of like a table right now. And then I also take this as an opportunity to look at, okay, when I open my office, what are my duties? Who does that? Is there a more efficient way? When I close my office, who does that? Is there a more efficient way to do that?
Oh, let's tell my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies for the holidays, so those are coming up, is The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, yes.
And there's a whole thing. Krista's Bob Cratchit. We didn't know. So anyways, because you're not Scrooge.
I can be, though.
Yeah. So maybe I'm Bob Cratchit and you're Scrooge.
You're sweet. You're sweet. I can be.
But regardless, there's a whole scene about them closing up the office, getting it ready for Christmas. It's just I love that whole scene. It's adorable. With the bookkeepers and stuff, that's what we do.
It's one more sleep till Christmas.
That's right.
It's so adorable. All right. And then also, this is again where you take time to look at what's going on in your organization. Do you have a mentor or shadowing system? Are you big enough for something like that? And who are the best people to do that? Mm-hmm. Because if you have someone who's not a people person, you really don't want to make them
be a trainer.
I know. So again, look at everything. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good. Cost. You want to look at costs at this time. Mm-hmm. If your cost of goods sold has been out of whack, you want to detail what's particular vendors out of whack. Is this something you can negotiate, or do you need a different vendor? Mm-hmm. Let's see if there's anything else I see.
Yep, and have you taken into account all the things that can affect your sales, whether it's service or product, meaning the overhead, is that in your evaluation when you set up your costs? We were just talking about this at my QuickBooks training yesterday. And there's so many factors in overhead. You have to have that your products are covering your overhead costs. So you have to make sure that you know those costs to include them.
All right, and then you're also going to look at, here's some tough love.
Uh-oh.
You're going to look at clients. Who do you enjoy working for? They're keepers. Who do you get something in the pit of your stomach when you're like, oh, I got to call them?
Do you sit in your car and give yourself a pep talk to go in?
Yeah, guess what? You don't keep them. And it's easy to say that when you're very successful and you have the ability to say, no, not going to do it. But you have to be happy. So you have to look at yourself. Who makes me happy? Who appreciates me? Who wants me to be a part of their team?
Yep.
That's all.
And that's it. It's about being part of the team. And if they don't view you as part of their team, do you want to work there? That's the way we do it. It's part of a team effort.
That's right. And then the other thing, you should be looking at your vendors. Who do you are like, they're such a problem to deal with. When they bill wrong and I have to call for a credit, it takes months. That's a weakness. It's taking your time away from your business.
Yep.
All right, so you've got to look at everything.
Yep.
Everything.
My supervisor just arrived.
Yes.
He's going to tell me if I'm doing it right or wrong, huh, Daddy?
Yep. All right, and then do you want to say hello? Do you want to wave to the camera?
One stroke.
And I know I'm going different directions. I see it. But again, rustic. We're going for rustic.
Okay. But Number 2 topic we have is insurances. Are you properly covered? Every industry is different. So like you need to find out what you need to be covered correctly for insurance.
Yep.
And if your sales have gone up drastically, you have to make sure your insurance agent knows that so you have proper coverages.
Yep.
A lot of times one of the big things now, cyber policies. You know, there are very specific things you have to do in order to be compliant with your cyber policy. Does your IT people know that? And are they making sure that if God forbid something happens, your insurance will cover it? And again, we know tons of insurance people. Give us a call. We'll give you some names. And then number 3, onboarding new employees. We get a lot of questions on this. Well, how do I know what forms they need to do? I know I have to know W4. Hi. Hey, we're having our podcast.
Our podcast.
You want to say hello?
You can say hello.
Say hello. Hello.
That's okay. We're
Just give
almost
us
done.
2 seconds. 2
Yep.
seconds. Onboarding new employees. You have to have a W-4 so that you know the proper amount of federal withholding to withhold. And I-9, you have to verify that they are a citizen of the United States or allowed to work here. Local, you have to know their PSD codes. There's a website called MunStats, Municipal Statistics, that can help you with that, where you put in the employer's address, the employee's address, and they tell you exactly how many local taxes you should be withholding, because each municipality is a little different. That also tells you LST, who should we be submitting our local service taxes to.
Yep, because they're not all the same amount.
Yeah, they're not all the same, and sometimes there's an earnings requirement. If they're not earning $12,000, you only have to withhold the $5 for the school districts.
Yeah.
Do you do direct deposit? If you do direct deposit, do you have the form filled out? And does the form say you have the right to put in
And take out.
Because if a mistake is made, it has to say you're also allowed to reverse that. All right, and a lot of people, they do the in, but they don't do the out, so make sure you're covered. And then emergency contacts. You have to have emergency contacts for your employees, that God forbid something happens, you can let someone know.
That's exactly right. You have to have the right tools for the job. Part of payroll. You have to have a good payroll service. Make sure that they're collecting taxes appropriately and know how to do your quarterly.
Right, there's tons of them out there. Just do what's best for you. And then the last thing that I always recommend, it's not required, an availability schedule. And what this does is if you have a call off and you have everybody's availability and say, okay, it's Thursday afternoon, who's available? So you're not wasting your time calling 3 people who are never available on Thursdays. So if you have that, and I just do a little thing in Excel, block out the days I know I can't call these people, so that if you get a call off, nope, oh, she said she would be available, I'll give her the call.
Look at this roll.
Right.
I like this.
I know. All right, so then that's what we have for you today. And again, remember, you can do business anywhere. We're doing it from an empty room painting. Because business happens, whether you're ready for it or not.
Well, and that's another thing. As a business owner, you're never really off the clock because you're always thinking about how you can improve your business, your employees, your standing in the community. You're never done.
Nope. All right, but if you're an entrepreneur, you love this.
You love it all.
Love
it all.
If you're not, don't be a business owner.
Yep.
You have to have the right mentality.
Be an employee, make a business,
that's
help
fine.
make a business
Yeah, make a
successful,
business stronger.
and then you're successful too.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think that's all I know for now.
Me too. Thanks for joining us as we paint.
Yep. HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services, 724-561-6955. 7460, office at yourhlc.com, and hlcbookkeeping.com on the web.
We're here when you need us.
Thank you.
Have
Bye-bye.
a great day. Ooh, how do I turn it off here?
I don't know.